Hello everybody, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Today we are going to cover our Chilobrachys fimbriatus, the Indian violet. Now, as you regulars will know, we rehoused our adult female in this enclosure here, and she's webbed it all up quite extensively. Now, these are a semi-fossorial spider, and I say semi because they can be quite terrestrial as well in the fact that they will actually sit out quite a lot. This girl often comes out in the evenings and we'll see her out and about, but night time is really the time to catch them. They'll be out and about everywhere. Now you'll see with this enclosure here, we've actually allowed it to dry out. Now the reason being, I was asked this once before about the moss. Now you'll see in here that the moss is very, very dry. Once we soak this again, this moss will rejuvenate, if you like, and come back to its former glory. Hopefully. 9 times out of 10 it does. Occasionally it just dies. But 9 times out of 10 it will actually in fact pick up. So what we've done is we paired this female, and we got some absolutely stunning footage. Some really, really good footage. So we're hoping now. We have tried her a second time, and the female was a little bit sharp with a male, so I'm pretty sure that we had a really good successful take-in. You'll see in the video it was outstanding. Now so we're going to follow this girl and we'll see what happens, and then what we'll do is we will give her a month or so and we'll plough some food into her, and we'll see her start to expand. She's already eating like an absolute horse at the minute. She's really going for it. And then what we'll do is we'll start to flood this enclosure out again, and this will hopefully get her to drop a sack. Fingers crossed, all's well. Right, enough of me rambling. Check this footage out, it is amazing. I'll see you soon. Well, this is our little male Indian violet. As you can see, he is like a miniature replica of the female. Not as brightly coloured, but he's got that same markings on his abdomen. And you can see from that shot there the extensive webbing all around her home. Now these guys are famous for their webbing. They do some really, really intricate tunnels and what have you. And you can see he's being quite cautious as he goes through there. He's giving the odd little shake. So he's sending signals. There you go, he's just doing it there. You see that pulsating of the abdomen as well. This is all sending signals. And you'll see that he just sits back and he waits. It's almost like he's waiting for a reply. Now this is one of the entrances to her burrow, and she is down in there somewhere, and it don't look like he's wasting any time. There he goes. Now he was down there for a little while, and then I think he found her. He's out. So he's now moved over to the other side. We didn't see the female, but he came out and he started vibrating again, as you can see he's doing there now. And there she is. You see, as soon as she appeared, she's drumming her front legs. This is always a good sign. This is a receptive female. But you'll note as soon as she appeared, he was gone. He's taking no chances, and he's up on the side glass now. And you can see there, he's actually vibrating on the glass, and she can feel that. Look, she's responded straight away. Now some of that vibration will be carrying through the web that she has put all over the glass. They are so receptive to these minute vibrations. You see, every time he throbs, she responds. He sits back and he waits for that. Now he's coming forward now. Now we're starting to get into more of a visual display. He's very, very keen, but he's not 100% happy. Now you'll note there as well that her responses have slowed down just a little bit. He's a little bit more gentle with what she's doing. Yep, he's not entirely satisfied. We'll come for a different angle. Now this to-ing and fro-ing went on for some time, and as you can see there that we've clipped this video together because there was lots of backwards and forwards. And what he's doing is he's trying to tempt her out of the burrow. Here she comes. Look at the size difference in comparison. She is absolutely huge. And what a beautiful spider. Now these are a fossorial spider, and many people say they never ever see them. But as we've said in many videos before, fed correctly, these guys will often be out and about hunting for food, and you'll get to see them in the evenings. You can see she is substantially heavier than him. Got that beautiful copper colouring. You see where they get their name, the earth tiger. Her abdomen looks like a Bengal tiger. Got that lovely dark brown lower parts to her legs, and that copper colouring everywhere else. The carapace is almost shining. It's like a gold slab. And as you can see, she's actually taken it to him now, and you notice now that he's doing that typical thing that the Chilobrachys species do. They wave their front legs, and you see there now he is frantically communicating now. Things are looking good, everything's going in the right direction, but you'll see that her communication has slowed right down. So he's now doing more of the work than she is. Now some of this is possibly due to the fact that she is actually outside the comfort of her burrow now. We can only hazard a guess as to what's going on. But you'll often see with these females that when they're very close to the burrow, they're very, very receptive and quite showy. They display quite a lot. And as they get further and further away, the display slows down a little. It's almost like they've always got that burrow in the back of their mind. See, she's got a nice plump abdomen. This girl molted out some time ago, so she is more than ready to breed. And what we try and do now is when we're conditioning these females, we try and make sure that they got plenty of food in them, but not to the point where they're over full. So what we want to do is trying to achieve to get enough food in them that they start to produce eggs. Now you can see now the male's moved. His tactics, he's now down lower down, and she's now pursuing him. He's giving the signals. You see there he was waving his pedipalps. And he's tapping them onto the web. He's letting her know in no uncertain terms of his intentions. Now that's quite often happens in these sort of circumstances. We end up with almost like a stalemate where they'll just sit there and not do very much at all. And then all of a sudden, like now, our male is starting to vibrate again. This has woken the female up and she's responding by vibrating and tapping her legs at the same time. Now you notice there we had contact with the legs. This is the first time these guys have really touched one another, and that really spurs it on. There you go, look at that, he's almost called her straight in. Now this could look rather dangerous for our male, but if you notice the posture of the female, she's very, very receptive. There's nothing aggressive about her whatsoever. A apart from her size, she's just daunting to look at compared to him. And you can see he's trying there. She's, whoa, that's it, we got it. There you go, that is insemination there. You notice how her body has stiffened up. That's shaking. That is, he has got insemination. Now she's lifted her abdomen now. She's managed to come away from that. But we know that our male is still in place and he's not given up. And this is possibly due to the fact that our female, although she's making it a little bit difficult for him, she's not actually showing any other aggression towards him. And she's almost in a trance-like state there. You notice how her front legs and her pedipalps are pulled up and they're literally just hunched up. And you can see her abdomen relaxing. Now we've got a really close-up look. You can see the epigastric furrow. There we go. There's insemination there. And you can see with this close-up just how far under he has to reach in order to inseminate with her. Now this is the this bit of footage here was taken on my iPhone, and you can see the difference in it. Now you can clearly see the epigastric furrow there of the female. There you go, look, he's reaching round again now, but you notice how she manoeuvres her abdomen. She manoeuvres it slightly out of the way. She's making it very difficult for him. It's almost like she's enticing him under her, trying to get him closer and closer. He's not giving up. He's almost there. He's really having to climb underneath her to enable this insemination. Here we go. We've got it again. Now you notice the way the body stiffens up as soon as he's managed to make contact. He's under pressure there. Look, she's bending him out. There you go. He's popped out yet again. Now this went on for quite some time, and we can see now we've gone back to the original view. You can see just how small he actually is. But I think one of the reasons that he's stayed there and he's continuing to try and copulate with this female is because her posture has not changed. She has stayed in a very, very neutral posture, if you like, although she is forcing that abdomen out of the way. But he's got her again now. You can see now he is inseminating as we speak, and her whole posture is very, very neutral. You're going for better leverage. See how she moves her abdomen there? She's twisting her abdomen out of the way. Very uncanny. It's like she wants to breed, but she's playing hard to get. And you can see there, he's constantly trying. He's practically right underneath her. If she wanted to take him out now, she could kill him very, very easily. But she's shown no such thoughts. He's still trying. He's quite determined to carry on doing his best. Now it's hard to actually understand what the theory is in her procedure now. You know, why is she making this so difficult for him? Surely he's proved himself already. See her twisting? Yeah, oh look, we've got insemination once again. You see the way her body's shaking? That's it. This is a good insemination. So far we have probably had 5 or 6 very good, clear inseminations. You know, she's lifting her abdomen yet again. But as you can see there, she is almost literally hanging there. It's almost like she is in a sense of euphoria. Very interesting how she is literally sublime to anything that's going on, really. As you can see there, the position for the male is very, very precarious. You can see his pedipalps working away there. He's still trying to reach underneath. There you go. Now he's had enough. Now he's finished with her. And as you can see how he calmly walked away and how she has held her position. This is the same position that she has been in from the initial first insemination. And she is still in it now. There you go. She's just sort of come out of it. You can see how calm she is. Very, very calm. But this isn't over for her now, because as you can see, she has pretty much woken up and she's now going back to her burrow. Notice the back leg there? Oh, here we go, look. Now this frantic rubbing of her epigastric furrow with her back legs probably is showing some form of discomfort from the inseminations. And this is something we often see in our female spiders when we've had a very successful insemination. When we look back on them and we see what the behaviour was, we often see this frantic scratching with the back legs of the epigastric furrow, and we also see frantic pedipalp movement from them as well. Now you can see our male, he's now moved to the outside of the enclosure. Now we're not worrying about him, we're going to let him just rest out there. He's in no rush to go anywhere, he's content, he's done his job, so we're just going to leave him be for the moment. You can see he'll just sit there and he'll have a little clean up in a minute. Now she's come back out. Now you can see that she's slightly irritated in her abdomen. Here we go. You see that? How she's just this frantic scratching and rubbing that she's doing. You can see her mandibles working as well. Everything is on the go. It's like everything has sort of turned a bit fizzy, and she's all over the shop again. And like I say, this is something we quite often see after a successful pairing. Now there probably is no need to put this male in again. Normally we would try and pair our females at least twice. But I think with the behaviour that we've had so far, there probably is no need to put him in and risk him again. Now I think this is some of the reasons why some females will kill a male, because on the actual point of insemination, I think is actually quite rough on them, and they find it quite a little bit of discomfort with the insemination, and I think their immediate reaction is to lash out and grab the male. So it's almost like the male has hurt her and she is responding in an aggressive manner to protect herself. So I'm not so sure that the theory of a female eating the male is because this is going to be her last big meal, which is what we've always been led to believe. And I'm now beginning to think that maybe that isn't the case, because as we've seen, quite often or not, our female is left in a state of euphoria and the male just walks away nice and steady. But sometimes when we get a real heavy insemination, that's quite often when our female takes matters into her own hands and kills our little male. So maybe there's something there. Maybe it's more of a reaction towards discomfort. And she's settling down now. She's getting back to normal. You can see she's starting to web up around the entrance to her burrow again now. This is something they often do just prior to going back into the burrow. They'll start webbing up the outside. laying down fresh web. And she seems to have settled down now. So fingers crossed, we'll get some more food into her, and hopefully we'll get a sack from her within a month or two. We'll see what happens. Good night, young lady. Well, what do you think to that? I don't think anyone was disappointed with that, I'm sure. That was some really, really cool footage. The close-ups of them inseminations, absolutely outstanding. That little male is tiny. He is so small compared to her. And she's not a big spider. I mean, she's like literally like this. So she's probably, what, 4.5 inches? And he's just absolutely minuscule in comparison. But you see, he weren't mucking around. There was no mucking around there. When he was actually underneath her, he disappeared altogether, which shows his size. And we got some really close-ups of the insemination. Absolutely, oh, I was amazed. What you saw there in what was probably roughly about a 20-minute video, this did actually go on for about 3 hours. So it was quite an extensive pairing. It took him a little while to get going. Once he actually made contact, everything went really, really quickly. But it was just the initial making contact, the introduction. That always takes a little bit of time. But yeah, in the end, he done the job. And I'm pretty sure, going on that footage there, we are successful. So what we'll do now is we will feed her up, as we were saying earlier on, and then we will flood this out. We'll soak this, bang the humidity up, and then, all being well, this will get her to drop a sack. And yeah, fingers crossed we're okay. Now the only downside is, you'll see we got one of our beastly blackout boards on the back here. We put this on sometime after she'd been introduced, and she has actually in actual fact webbed up the back. So trying to find a sack might be a little bit awkward. So in going forward, we really need to have our blackout boards on before we put our spider in. Mental note to oneself. Get your board on first, and then they won't web it all up and we can see what's going on. So fingers crossed, we're all good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spiders. I'll see you soon, guys.